In between Egyptians and Jesus.
That's not calling you all. That's not. You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
When your dad wrong here.
All right. Way back when. Okay. Hey, listen. So, when we're kind of putting Pythagoras' age down, somebody said Jesus. Well, he was before Jesus. Somebody said caveman. Well, he was after caveman. So he was 490 BC. So basically, this Pythagorean theorem has been around for 2,500 years, basically.
That's a lot.
Yes.
2,500.
What? Yeah. Yeah, the Egyptians, he lived at the same time. The ancient Egyptians, he was after them. But
He was after them as
But just the normal Egyptians.
the normal Egyptians, yeah. Yep. So Pythagoras was known for being very smart with math, and he didn't create the triangle, but he said that in a right triangle, we'll talk about that in a second. In a right triangle, which is a triangle with one right angle and two acute angles, the opposite side of the right angle is called the hypotenuse.
I have no idea what the heck a
Hypotenuse.
It's geometry, bro.
The other two sides are called legs.
It's a hippo with legs.
Shh.
Hippos have legs.
Braden Riggsdale. Enough. So, the Pythagorean theorem says this. The square of the hypotenuse is equal to the sum of the squares of the two legs of a right triangle. And you're going, what you talking about, Mr. Bierschbach? A much easier way to do the Pythagorean theorem is name the hypotenuse C. The hypotenuse is always, always, always C. The other two legs are A and B. It doesn't matter which leg is A, which leg is B. The Pythagorean theorem is this. C squared equals A squared plus B squared. The Pythagorean theorem is C squared equals A squared plus B squared. So, if this side is 3, this side is 4, and this side is 5, is this a right triangle?
Yes.
Okay. Is 5 squared equal to 3 squared plus 4 squared?
No.
You're changing your tune on us. Maybe we use math to figure it out before you say yes or no.
Oh.
Danny, lid. Thank you. 5 squared is? Susie, what's 5 times 5? 25. 5 squared is 25. 3 squared, Ben? 9. 4 squared, Anthony? What's 4 times 4? 16. What's 9 plus 16? 25. Is 25 equal to 25? Yes. So, yes, this is a right triangle. The right angle would be that one. Hey, be quiet.
Yes, sir.
The right angle is always opposite the longest side. So if this side's the longest side, the right angle is opposite of that. Now, not every triangle drawn that way is a right triangle. Is this a right triangle? Is 10 squared equal to 7 squared plus 8 squared? Is 100 equal to, what's 7 squared? What's 7 times 7?
49.
What's 8 times 8?
64.
49 plus 64
No.
is 113. So this is not equal. So this one is no. This is not a right triangle. So on today's assignment, you're going to have like 6 problems where you have to determine, is it a right triangle or is it not a right triangle? Now, sometimes we'll have decimals, okay? Sometimes we'll have decimals. So let's say this side is 0.7. This side is 2. Let's go. No, I think this side's supposed to be 2.9. So, but if this was
2.3.
can't remember the one. So let's say it's 2.5. Is this a right triangle?
Oh my goodness.
So which would be the longest side out of these three?
2.9.
2.9. 2.9 squared equals 0.7 squared plus 2.5 squared. What's 2.9 squared? What's 2.9 times 2.9? You need a calculator.
Might need a calculator, guys.
8.41. 0.7 squared is 0.49, I think. And 2.5 squared is 6.25. So is 8.41 equal to 0.49 plus 6.25? No. No. So no, this is not a right triangle. Sometimes they won't even draw a triangle for you. They'll maybe have something like 15, 36, 39. What's A, what's B, what's C? C is 39, and it doesn't matter which one is A and which one is B. Okay? C is always the longest side. Always, always, always. So, is C squared equal to A squared plus B squared? Is 39 squared equal to 15 squared plus 36 squared? What's 39 squared? It's a big old number.
1,521.
1,521.
I think we already had that answer. 15 squared is 225. And
1,296.
there we go. What's 225 plus 1296?
1,521.
Are they equal?
No.
Yes. So then, yes, this is a right triangle. Okay? Those are the first 6 questions. Then we have 6 more questions. Okay? Those are the first 6. So, the first 6 are just yes or no. Is it a right triangle? Is it not a right triangle? You plug the numbers into the Pythagorean theorem to see. The last 6 questions, they'll give you 2 sides of a triangle, like 4 and not 4. I don't want to use 4. Well, can I use 4? No. Like 12 and 16, and we want to find the third side. Okay? So, which side am I missing if my right angle is right here? The hypotenuse. I'm missing C. So C squared equals a squared plus b squared. So c squared equals 12 squared plus 16 squared. C squared equals 144 plus 256. What's 144 plus 256? Do it without a calculator once.
I got it. I got this, guys. 3.
Maybe 400.
500. 400 exactly.
Exactly 400. Ben got it first, Elmer got it second, and Braden came in third, which is just fine. Braden tried. Now, if c squared equals 400, I want c. What do I do to both sides of my equation to go from c squared down to c?
Minus?
No. Somebody whispered it out there. What is that symbol? Have you ever seen that symbol before?
It's called division. You divide.
It's a square root. It's a square root. So we take the square root of c squared and the square root of 400. What's the square root of 400? 20.
Roots and sides.
20.
That's alright.
Okay. Let's say, well, no. When they say what is the third side, it's always going to be equal because we're finding the missing side. Up here is yes or no. Down here, when we get to the last 6 problems, we're finding the missing side.
Why don't you just add 16 plus 12 then?
Because 16 plus 12
Oh, that's it.
is 28.
16 plus 12. Oh, my brain is not braining right now. I was saying 16 plus 2.
All right. Now, not every time will the square root be a nice number. Sometimes you'll get a decimal. I'm betting money this one will be a decimal.
How much? I'll bet more that it is not.
How much you want to bet that this is? Because I'm saying this is going to be a decimal answer, not a whole number. How much you want to bet that it's not a whole number? Because you're betting that it is a whole number. How much are you going to put it on this? $50? I can't steal money from kids, so c squared equals a squared plus b squared. What's c in this case? 15. So 15 squared equals a squared plus 10 squared. I could have made 10a and then b would have been b, but I just made this b and c this a. 15 squared equals a squared plus 100. How do I get a alone? Minus 100. So 125 equals a squared. Once we get a squared all alone on one side with a number on the other, that's when we square root it. Yes, it is irrational. Okay? What's the square root of 125?
Not a decimal.
11.1803398.
So we'll call it 11.2. There we go. And that's all we need. Okay, let's do 2 more problems and I'll hand out the worksheet because it's a Friday and we get out of here at 2:16, which doesn't leave you a lot of time for the worksheet today.
Game on, students. Lesson 1. $10,000 to win for students.
So you're telling me they're just gonna give us a 10 grand?
But that's what it say.
Okay, so
20,000.
Brain Ragsdale, which side are we looking for? A, B, or C in this case? Why do you know that it's C? Because it's opposite the right angle. C is always opposite the right angle. Yes, it is the biggest side as well. You were correct in there, but we want to make a more definite of it's opposite the right angle. So A and B. So C squared equals A squared plus B squared. So C squared equals, what's A?
3.
So it's 3 squared. What's B? 9 squared. What's 3 squared? What's 3 times 3, Alejandra? 9. What's 9 times 9, Jolene? 81. Very good. So C squared equals 90. Now once we have a variable squared equal to just one number, what do we do to both sides? Square root both sides.
It's irrational.
It is irrational again. It is 9.4 or 5? 9.4.
I don't know what irrational, rational, or
It's no.
irrational.
Irrational means
It-
continuous guessing
Forever. Yep.
forever. So
Like forever until how long?
like
Forever.
for example,
It never ends.
Like infinite.
Like,
Yeah.
hey, today is Pi Day, which is 3.141592654. No, I don't.
653.
Yeah. And it just keeps going forever. There's trillions and there's an infinite number of digits. So far, they've found 2.7 trillion digits. There's a person that's found 2.7 trillion digits of pi on their computer. Yeah. Do you need to find any more? No. It goes on forever. Okay? So, the square root of 90 goes on forever. It never ends. Just like this. That's what irrational numbers are. Numbers with decimals that go on forever. Okay? So, when David makes a very, very scholarly comment of that is irrational, he is very correct in saying that. Okay, last one, and then I'll give you your worksheet. Here we go. 8, whatever, 20. What side is C? 20. Don't say the small one. It's the biggest one, always. It's always opposite the right angle. C is always the biggest one. Okay, what's 8? A or B? Does it matter? No, it doesn't. So we'll make that A, that B.
So B.
C squared equals A squared plus B squared. Always write it like that first. What's C? 20 squared equals 8 squared plus B squared. So 400 equals 64 plus B squared. Do I take the square root of each side? Not yet. Not yet. We have to have the variable alone before we take the square roots.
400 times.
Minus 64. Minus. 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 336 is B squared. And David is going to once again say that it is irrational. What is the square root of 336?
What is it? 18.333636?
No, it's 18.33030278.
And it keeps going on after that. Okay? All right. So worksheet time. There are 12 problems.